There is a real chance that the bowl of food sitting on your kitchen floor right now is quietly stealing years away from your dog's life. And the most painful part is that you will not see a single warning sign until the damage is already done. Most dogs do not die of old age. They die years too early from the slow, silent breakdown of their kidneys, their heart, and their joints, and so much of that begins in the bowl. I am about to show you exactly what your dog's food is missing, and how to fix it tonight, using things that are probably already in your kitchen. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett, and I have spent years as a veterinarian watching wonderful, loving owners do everything right and still lose their dogs far too soon. Here is the truth nobody at the pet store will tell you. Even the most expensive dry kibble on the shelf is what we call a dead food. It is cooked at extreme temperatures, so it can sit in a warehouse for 18 months without spoiling. That process keeps your dog alive, but it strips out almost all of the living, active nutrients that help a dog truly thrive and fight off the diseases of aging. And please hear me clearly. If kibble is what fits your life and your budget, do not feel 1 ounce of guilt. Dry food is a perfectly good, affordable foundation. Today, we are not throwing it out. We are upgrading it into something closer to preventive medicine. Before we start, I want to mention one thing, because I get the same message almost every single day. People watch these videos, they take notes, and then they write to me asking if I can put everything in one place, all the boosters, the exact amounts, the simple recipes, the gentle exercises that keep senior dogs mobile, and the weekly routines, so they do not have to dig through 10 different videos. So I finally sat down and made it. It is a complete guide with the methods, the portion charts, the recipes, and the mobility exercises I wish every owner had on day 1, because honestly, the gap between a dog who reaches 11 and a dog who reaches 15 usually comes down to the small daily habits in this guide. If your dog's health and the years you get with them matter to you, you can grab it at the link in the description or in the pinned comment below. Now, let's build that bowl. Let me start with the single most powerful longevity tool in this entire video, and it is also the one almost nobody talks about, because it does not involve buying anything. It is your dog's body weight. In one of the most important studies ever done on canine aging, researchers followed a group of Labrador retrievers for 14 years. They took littermates, dogs from the same parents, and fed one group about 25% less food than the other. That was the only difference. The dogs who were kept lean lived a median of around 13 years, while the dogs fed more lived to only about 11. That is almost 2 extra years of life just from portion control. The lean dogs also developed arthritis later and needed medication for aging years later than their heavier siblings. Here is the painful part. Most owners cannot even tell their dog is overweight anymore because a soft, round dog has become normal in our minds. So here is the test. Run your hands gently along your dog's sides. You should be able to feel their ribs easily, like feeling the back of your own hand, without a thick layer of padding over them. Look at them from above. You want to see a waist tucking in behind the rib cage. If your dog looks like a loaf of bread from the top, we have work to do. The fix is simple, but it takes honesty. Measure the food with an actual measuring cup instead of eyeballing it. Cut treats down to less than 10% of their daily calories. And remember that a few extra pounds on a small dog is like a person carrying an extra 50. This one habit, keeping your dog genuinely lean, will do more for their lifespan than any supplement I am about to mention. Now let's talk about the cheapest upgrade in the world, and it is hiding in your faucet. I am talking about moisture. A dog's wild ancestors ate prey that was around 70% water, and their kidneys evolved to run on that kind of moisture-rich diet. Dry kibble is only about 10% water. When a dog eats nothing but dry pebbles, day after day, year after year, they live in a state of low-grade chronic dehydration that puts a quiet strain on the kidneys for a decade straight. And kidney failure is one of the leading killers of senior dogs. You have probably seen the sign without recognizing it. That moment your dog finishes a bowl of dry food and walks straight to the water bowl to gulp down a huge amount of water all at once. Their body is scrambling to rehydrate what they just ate. The fix is to never serve a bone-dry bowl again. The best option is unsalted, dog-safe bone broth. Pour about a quarter cup over the kibble and let it sit for 5 minutes so the food softens and soaks it up. But you must read the label, because most store-bought broth contains onion and garlic, which are toxic to dogs, and added salt your dog does not need. If broth is not in the budget, plain warm water works beautifully. It releases the aroma of the food, which makes picky and senior dogs eat better, and it gently delivers the hydration their kidneys need to keep filtering toxins. One small caution: if your dog tends to inhale their food, feed smaller amounts more slowly, because gulping huge volumes of water and food at once can raise the risk of bloat, which is a true emergency. Next, I want to give you the golden oil that acts like a fire extinguisher for your dog's joints, heart, and brain. We have to talk about inflammation, because in both human and animal medicine, chronic low-level inflammation sits at the root of nearly every disease of aging, from arthritis to heart disease to cancer. Kibble is naturally high in omega-6 fatty acids, which come from grains and animal fat, and omega-6s lean inflammatory. To balance that, your dog needs omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the kinds called EPA and DHA, which are nature's anti-inflammatory medicine. Here is the catch: omega-3s go rancid fast once they hit air, so even if the kibble bag claims to contain them, after that bag has been open in your pantry for a week or two, those oils are mostly dead. So many times an owner has told me their 8-year-old dog is just slowing down, not jumping on the couch anymore, sleeping all day, and 9 times out of 10 that dog is not simply old. Their joints are quietly inflamed. When we add real, fresh omega-3s, those same dogs often start moving like they did years ago. The best source is pure fish oil or salmon oil, kept in the refrigerator in a pump bottle so it does not spoil, dosed by your dog's weight. If you would rather use whole food, canned sardines packed in water with no added salt are fantastic. 1 or 2 small sardines on top of the kibble a couple of times a week deliver a beautiful dose of omega-3s and clean protein. One warning, because I see this mistake constantly. Fat is rich, so if you suddenly dump a big dose of oil into the bowl, you will get diarrhea and an upset stomach. Start with a tiny amount and build up slowly over a couple of weeks. Now for your dog's brain, and this one breaks my heart more than almost anything. As dogs age, their cells produce waste called free radicals, and over time those free radicals damage healthy tissue and attack the brain. This is the engine behind canine cognitive dysfunction, which is essentially doggy dementia. It is the 12-year-old dog who stares into the corner, gets stuck behind the couch, or paces and cries at 3 in the morning because they have forgotten where they are. We cannot reverse that damage once it sets in, which is exactly why we focus on prevention while a dog is young and middle-aged. The defense is antioxidants, and some of nature's most concentrated sources are blueberries, blackberries, and leafy greens. But here is where almost everyone goes wrong. Dogs have short, acidic digestive tracts, so if you toss in whole raw blueberries, the skins pass right through and come out the other end completely intact. Your dog got the sugar and none of the protection inside. The fix is to break the skin. Take 5 or 6 fresh or frozen blueberries, mash them with a fork until they burst, and stir that purple mush into the food. If you use frozen, warm them for about 10 seconds first so they soften. It turns into a sweet, antioxidant-rich gravy that dogs love, and you are quietly shielding the brain they are going to need for years to come. Let's go to the gut, because here is a number that surprises everyone. Somewhere around 70 to 80% of your dog's entire immune system lives in their digestive tract. Down there, trillions of bacteria form what we call the microbiome. And the good bacteria fight infection, digest food, and even communicate with the brain. But remember, kibble is blasted with heat to make it shelf-stable, and that heat kills off the living bacteria in the food. A dog eating nothing but sterile, ultra-processed kibble has a starving, unbalanced gut, and when the gut weakens, the immune system weakens right behind it. This is why so many dogs with chronically itchy paws and recurring, smelly yeast infections in their ears do not actually have a simple food allergy. Very often their gut balance has collapsed, and yeast is running wild. The fix is to put living bacteria back into the bowl. One of my favorite affordable options is plain kefir or plain unsweetened yogurt, which are loaded with live probiotics. A spoonful mixed into dinner is a good starting point for a medium dog, adjusted for size. But you must read the label, because flavored yogurts are packed with sugar, and some contain xylitol, an artificial sweetener that is deadly to dogs even in tiny amounts. It has to be 100% plain. If your dog cannot handle dairy, skip it entirely and use a quality dog-specific probiotic powder instead. You are literally rebuilding their defenses from the inside. Now, the silent killer that I have to raise my voice about, because it is the one owners ignore the most. Dental disease. So many people believe bad dog breath is just normal. It is not. That smell is bacteria and infection. When tartar builds up under the gum line, it inflames the gums, and every single time your dog chews, that bacteria gets pushed straight into the bloodstream. And where does that infected blood travel first? To the heart valves and the kidneys. Year after year, untreated dental infection bathes the major organs in bacteria, and it is one of the contributors to heart and kidney disease we could have prevented. I have lifted the lip of a sweet 10-year-old dog at a routine visit, found teeth coated in brown cement and angry red gums, and then heard a heart murmur in the very same exam. The fix is friction. Nothing beats actually brushing the teeth just a few times a week, with toothpaste made for dogs, never human toothpaste. A finger brush makes it easy. If your dog truly will not allow brushing, look for dental products that carry the Veterinary Oral Health Council seal, the letters VOHC on the package, because that seal means the product was actually tested and proven to reduce plaque, instead of just making a marketing claim. And please, get your dog's mouth checked by your own veterinarian, because some tartar is already below the gum where no powder can reach. So take a step back and look at what we just built. We started with a plain bowl of dry, processed kibble. Now we are feeding the right amount to keep your dog lean, which alone can add close to 2 years. We rehydrated the food to protect the kidneys. We added omega-3s to cool the inflammation in the joints, heart, and brain. We mashed in antioxidants to defend against dementia. We stirred in probiotics to rebuild the immune system. And we committed to the teeth to protect the heart. You did not spend hundreds of dollars or get a culinary degree. You used simple, real ingredients to turn a basic bowl into preventive medicine. And here is my one ask. Do not try to do all 6 of these tomorrow because you will burn out. Pick one. Maybe tonight you just add warm water and measure the food honestly. Maybe this week you buy a can of plain sardines. Start there and build. Which one are you going to try first? Tell me about your dog in the comments because I read them and I love hearing these stories. One last thing, and I say this as a veterinarian who means it. Everything I shared today is general education, not a diagnosis or a treatment plan for your specific dog. Every dog is different, and conditions like kidney disease, allergies, or a sensitive stomach can completely change what is safe for them. So before you change your dog's diet or add anything new, please talk to your own veterinarian who can examine your dog in person. You and your vet are a team, and your dog deserves both of you. I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett. Thank you for being the kind of owner who shows up to learn. Keep giving them the best, and I will see you in the next one.